Okay, so we just kind of wanted to jump on here really quick and give an intro to the video you're about to watch because it's a pretty in-depth conversation into a plugin that we have installed on Logical Harmony, and it's a video of that conversation that Tashina and I had trying to decide whether it's worth it to keep the plugin and how to move forward. And the reason I thought that this video was so valuable is for a couple reasons. One is because it really kind of shows the boring side of what we do, and it's a perfect example of a lot of the, a lot of the conversations that we have throughout the day when we're just trying to figure out how to move forward. I would say we probably have conversations like this, multiple times a week about various different tiny little things.
Yeah.
I mean, even tonight, I was in the shower, and, I always have these, shower ideas, so then I, knock on the wall, and then Tashina comes, and then we, start this conversation while I'm still in the shower. So, we did that. We didn't film that, but we had a very long conversation about other vloggers. And anyway, the point is, I think that to give a real behind-the-scenes look at what we do with Logical Harmony, these types of conversations are pretty crucial. And another reason I thought it was important is because we get kind of frustrated with each other in the video. Mm-hmm. There's definitely a good portion of it where it's you and I having a misunderstanding of what the other person means and trying to navigate that and hear what the other person is saying.
Which I think is so normal.
Yeah. It is very normal, and that's why I left it in, because I definitely think there will be conversations and arguments that we will not want to share with other people. That said, I think that we both, with this vlog, want to give a very real representation of what things are like. Mm-hmm. And it's very real that you and I get in arguments or have misunderstandings and then have to navigate through them to come out the other side.
Yeah.
So I think that it's really valuable because of that.
I think so too, and I think people think that working with your partner is easy, and I think sometimes it can be harder than working with someone else.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, 100%. I mean, we could do a video just on that, actually. We should do a video on that. Comment, let us know if you want to see a video on that. Also, thank you so much for watching this channel.
Yeah, thank you.
We've got a lot of new subscribers since you posted about it on the Logical Harmony Instagram account and the Logical Harmony stories. So thanks for watching. Mm-hmm. Also, just so you know, this video has a really abrupt ending. I know a lot of our videos do, and usually I do that on purpose because I think it's funny, but this video, the conversation just tapered off, and then the conversation was just sort of over because we needed to take action on what we had discussed, so there was really not much more of a discussion to continue having.
And I physically couldn't really talk much more either.
Yeah, that's true. I cut out a ton of Tashina coughing from this video because the more that she talked, the more she would have coughing fits. So anyway, thanks for subscribing to this channel. Thanks for not making fun of my hat in the comments. I do this for my hair to dry. Otherwise it's really curly and crazy. And thanks for subscribing.
Yeah, thank you.
Hope you enjoy it. So we were talking about, basically it's a plugin that we have on our website, and it's a search plugin. So essentially the reason that we got it, like we were just talking about, was
so we could have better data from search results, so we could see what people are searching for and how often, and so we could serve better results, more relevant stuff. If someone typed in Smashbox, we would want the Smashbox vegan product list to be at the top, things like that, the more helpful things first.
Yeah, so breaking that down a little bit more. So the analytics, or I guess in relation to this conversation, the analytics was really, we wanted to really understand what people are searching for on the site so that we could create better content around that.
Yeah.
So, if we saw that for a week or a month straight, everybody was searching for one brand name and we had never talked about that brand before, that's really good insight. Now we can create stuff around that brand. If they're not on the list, then we can reach out to the brand and say, hey, our audience is interested in you and we would like to find out more about your cruelty-free status. that sort of thing. By the way, in case you're like, oh, Justin and Tashina are trying to save money, but they're always drinking Starbucks. Not true. These are just reusable Starbucks cups, and we put our own homemade drinks in them. Somebody recently told us, though, that with the new Google Analytics update, that Google is providing that information, so I'll look into that tonight.
Yeah.
What I was going to talk to you about, though, because the other day I logged into Google Analytics, and I haven't in a while. Not a good habit to get into. The new update looks pretty rad.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, this is something I want to talk to you about because they have like a chart similar to like what Instagram does with their analytics, and it shows you day and time that our users are most active on the site.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, which means we know for a fact when it would be a good idea to publish stuff.
Yeah, that'd be really helpful to know. Because
So
I just publish at like 6 a.m. Pacific, because I just do.
I think that was the beginning of the window, actually.
Because I once read that early morning Pacific is good because you catch a lot of people on their commutes to the office or when they first get into the office and they're like not actually working.
It's funny that you say that because the busiest times of day, if I'm remembering correctly, for our website is like basically like 6 a.m. to like 5 p.m. like Monday through Friday.
That seems about right, because a lot of people do. Like, they spend a lot of time on their computers at work doing personal stuff. So, I mean, I know I did when I worked in an office. Like, your lunch break, half the time if you had, like, you would eat at your desk. So you're like, all right, I'm going to do this here.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, it totally makes sense. So the other part of that, like Tashina said, the other part of why we were using this plugin was to serve up search results differently. So previous to installing this plugin, our website would serve up search results in chronological order. That can be a good thing because you're getting the newest information, but the point at which that's not a good thing is, like, let's say, for example, like a vegan product list. Tashina had mentioned a Smashbox. So let's say there's a brand like Smashbox that Tashina enjoys their products a lot, and she publishes the vegan product list, and then over the next 52 weeks of the year, she publishes maybe once every 2 weeks a piece about Smashbox. Then when somebody goes and search, if it's serving up the chronological results, then that vegan product list, which is going to probably be more interesting to most people, is going to be pushed down, and then the pieces of content that are more interesting to specific people, like somebody looking specifically for a foundation with no flashback. See how well I know their products? Like, or, a lipstick or whatever, like... But isn't that what they're known for? They make a really nice foundation with no flashback. A lot
of their products are made.
Do you know why that is?
Camera.
It's because they started out as a photo studio, and then they started making makeup because they wanted makeup that would perform like under professional photography. Did you know that?
I didn't.
Well,
I no idea.
Yeah.
It's the first time I've ever heard that.
I know.
I've never said that myself.
You're welcome. If you ever want to learn more about makeup, you can visit my website. It's logicalharmony.net. I was talking to my brother, and he was sort of questioning me on this because I was telling him Tashina and I are trying to save money. We're trying to cut back expenses, especially with Logical Harmony, because it's, obviously a big part of what we make from Logical Harmony by necessity goes back into Logical Harmony. So we're trying to figure out what's really necessary and what's not. Sorry, my neck hurts so much. I don't know why. Well, actually I do. I think it's my totally terrible posture.
Work out your little core.
Yeah, I need to work out my little core more.
This is working out your core, apparently.
Is that how you do that?
Yep.
That's good to know. You should be a personal trainer.
I am. You were talking to your brother.
Right. Oh, yes. So I was talking to my brother, and he was asking me questions about this search plugin, and one of the things he was asking was, he was just saying, I can see how intuitively it would make sense to serve up results based on relevance, not on chronological order, but he was like, when I search for something, even if I was going to search foundation on Logical Harmony, I wouldn't go to Logical Harmony and then search foundation. I would go to Google and I would search foundation Logical Harmony or Logical Harmony foundation, and then I would go from there. or Smashbox Foundation, Logical Harmony. So, that maybe we should really think about whether having the relevance-based search results is really having an impact. And he was like, obviously I'm in tech, like maybe I search differently, like maybe I'm, obviously he's not our target market demographic by any stretch of the imagination. So he was like, maybe I'm off base, but it's something to consider. So when I started thinking about that, I started thinking about all of our search results, because I know you look at them every week, and I also look at them every week. Because the point I was making to him was exactly like the same example I was giving about like vegan product lists and that sort of thing. But like, when's the last time you saw that in a search result?
So one thing I've noticed, okay, so I haven't. But,
pretty much ever.
Yeah,
Okay.
But one thing that I've noticed is the keyword list has a bunch of weird things on there that have been on there for a long time. Like, I've felt like it's buggy for a long time. Because I'll go in and type stuff in there to see if it's working, and it doesn't show up on the report.
Well, I think the report is only showing the top most searched things, though.
But sometimes it'll show things that have been searched for like once. That's my point. Is I think it's buggy. But to that point, that also brings up something that I've been trying to do, which is like for brands that I talk about a lot, like Too Faced, for example. I'm trying to republish the vegan product list really often. Like, basically, anytime I update it, I just republish it, so that way it's fresh and it shows up. So if people do go and search Too Faced or go to the tag of Too Faced, it comes up first.
Okay, so if we feel like it's buggy, then I guess that's a whole other question, which is, do we bother? Because, okay, if we're paying $60 a month, after some quick, speedy fingers Tashina calculator skills, because we're both really bad at math, especially when I'm on when I'm on camera, trying to be fast at math in my head makes me really uncomfortable, and I feel like that makes it even worse. So, just like anything else. So anyway, so $720, like, that's a decent amount of money to be spending a year.
It's a lot.
Right. So if we don't feel if we feel like it's been buggy, and we've been paying that for like 2 or 3 years, then maybe it's time to just cut it off.
Yeah.
But my concern is, even if the report is buggy, if serving up the results in chronological order is working, but because it's buggy on the reporting end, we're not seeing that it's working, that scares me, because maybe it is working and maybe people are searching and we just don't realize it.
Yeah, well, for me, where that's problematic is the primary reason we got it was for the reporting. Because we wanted to be able to more intelligently create content based on what people were looking for.
The primary reason I wanted us to have it was for the better search results. Because if you go to, few things are more more annoying than when you go to a website and you can't find what you're looking for. Or, the search doesn't work easily. Like, that makes me so annoyed. Like,
Yeah.
So, I guess what we have to do is test it out.
Yeah.
See if it is serving up. I mean, we can do that on a phone. I can go do that on my computer. You can do that on your phone. Test it out. See how it is serving up search results. But again, if we don't know if it's the reporting that's buggy, then we can't really test that other than to try to fix the reporting. Maybe we could, completely uninstall I would do this. I'm saying we, but I mean I.
Yeah.
Uninstall the plugin and then just reinstall it and,
Redo the customizations, because we did a bunch of custom work on it.
It's not like custom work, though. It's like you click a button and be like, index my website, and it's like, okay.
No, to remove, other stuff that was, remember?
I don't remember. But it's also been, over a year since we've done it, so maybe...
Yeah, it's been,
maybe
2
the
years.
plugin is way better. It wasn't built for bloggers. It was not built to do what we do. It was built for e-commerce. At least that's my understanding. When I tried to get help from their customer service, it was they expected people who know how to program, who would be installing this on a website, so they couldn't really help me that much because they're like, you don't know how to do anything, so we can't tell you how to do it, you know?
And then let's dig into Google Analytics more and see if we can surface data there. Because if there is a way to connect our site search with Google Analytics, that would optimally be the best because it's free and that would free up like budget for other stuff. Like
Yeah.
rent.
I'm so nervous about making the user experience on Logical Harmony not good. It worries me to think that getting rid of this is going to have a negative impact on the user experience.
Yeah, but I think user experience could be impacted in other ways too, like better navigation if we had a better like getting started page or like start here page or like better optimization of like the layout. Like maybe we need a new theme that showcases helpful content
I
better.
am so sick of doing new themes. Why do we have to do a new theme every 2 years?
Because I get bored. I get bored of looking at it. I would like a new banner though.
You can do whatever you want. I will have no part in it.
Okay.
I'm serious.
like-
I'm just telling you, like, with how much other stuff we have to do, I don't, like, yes, I think making the website better makes a lot more sense than doing a whole new thing with a whole new theme. Like, every time you do that, it takes, like, 2 months,
Yeah.
if not more, to get everything worked out, and we haven't even worked it all out on this theme. Like, I just feel like it would be a gigantic waste of time, energy, and money to now, like, start fresh again with a different theme. I just think it's a bad idea.
I'm not saying we necessarily start right now with a new theme, but I'm saying let's take care of the low-hanging fruit first. They could make a better user experience.
I agree with what you're saying. I'm very surprised to hear you say all this, and you're throwing around the word we a lot, and, like, I know it's not a priority for me. Like, I don't have time to be doing that
it'd be
with
me.
the other stuff that I have to do, but that's my concern, is you also don't have time to be doing that.
Yeah.
Like, unless we start working drastically more, which is fine with me, I think we should anyway.
Yeah.
But, like, drastically more than we have been.
Well, let me poke around and see what we can do with our current theme. Not like today. Like, I want to do some of the other stuff.
But we know you can do it. It's not an issue of whether or not you can do it. We already know the answer.
But we just need to do it. That's what I'm saying. Like, we can improve the user experience. Like, if we can do these other things that are free and are not costing us $700 some a year, we should do them.
Right. I agree. But what I'm saying is, I think those two things are separate. Because we're not going to stop paying this and then immediately go and fix and update all that other stuff. Like, you know that's not going to happen.
Yeah, I'm not saying that's what's going to happen.
So I'm saying, I feel like because of that, we should make the decision separate from that. Like we shouldn't get rid of this plugin based on the premise that we're going to make up for it in user experience by adding in all this other stuff that's going to improve a person's user experience.
Yeah. What I was saying was that we shouldn't focus on the search bar being the primary use of, like, good user experience. There are other ways we can improve.
I agree, but that has never been the plan. So all I'm saying is, like, what would be different now?
I don't know. It's just...
Like, I agree with you. I agree that we should do that stuff.
Yeah.
But, like, I agreed with you 2 years ago when we had this same conversation about how we should do that stuff. And neither of us have taken it upon ourselves to do it. So, like, I just don't get why it's part of the plugin conversation.
Oh, just because you mentioned user experience and how the plugin is, like, so important for that. And I'm saying, I think we've become too dependent on it for that reason.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, that makes sense. I get what you're saying.
Like, if we're saying, like, oh, it's worth spending the money on for the user experience, like, there are other things we can do. Anyway, never mind.
I know, but those things only matter if we're actually going to do them. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Do you want to have some
It's
tea?
because I'm talking so much.
You could talk less. I
think
don't
we're
remember
on
what
the
I was
same-
saying. I agree. I think we are on the same page. Yeah, we're on the same page. I
Yeah.
agree with you that we need to do that. All I'm saying is that I don't think that should factor into the conversation.
Yeah, that's fine.
Because it has no relevance to whether or not we keep like we should do that regardless of whether we keep the plugin.
Yeah.
But I do hear what you're saying, like that we've got, because our website sucks so much, we've become too dependent on feeling like having this search function somehow makes it okay that we
Other
don't
things.
have all this other stuff. Which, I never really thought about it that way, but I think you're right. I think that is exactly how I feel.
Yeah. And like, for me, there's so much on it I want to do to make things easier for people and like make it easier to navigate and like find resources. It's just finding the time.